Okay, we are
Yippee.
live on a Thursday. This is abnormal. All right, hi everyone. This is Thermo with Cos Talk Live, and today we brought in some. Oh, I forget it's where some individuals from UwU Con. We've got Cosplay Choco and we've got Candace, and we're going to talk about like stuff that's in our Halloween kit, makeup, or go-to quick costumes, just things that we're like, crap. I'm a cosplayer. I already do this all the time. What can I do that's fast and easy? And so just the tricks for individuals that are like, how do I do this? So we're gonna go through that. So I'll go ahead and have Choco introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Cosplay Choco. I've been cosplaying since I want to say 2016, and I'm terrible about Halloween. Like everyone, I wear all this like stuff. You see me, I have like a bunch of like rhinestones on me at cons and stuff. But for Halloween, absolutely not. I'm like rolling out of bed and I'm like throwing something on. So I'm pretty excited about this episode.
That is exactly how I feel. I'm just like, okay. What about you,
I get pretty lazy about Halloween too. Yeah.
Yeah. Halloween's my favorite holiday in like concept. Like I love Halloween decor and stuff. But then when it comes time to like pick a costume, I just overthink it every time. But yeah, my name is Can or Candace or Miss Stellar if you're nasty. I've been cosplaying for 11 years and it's been my full-time job for 3, which is pretty swag. I went to school for it. I have my bachelor's in costume technology. I used to work professionally with multiple theaters, mostly the Nashville Shakespeare Festival. I was a technician for them for like 3 years. So my background is mostly craftsmanship, but my work is whatever this is. But my religion with Halloween is always picking something recognizable and not something impressive. If that makes any sense?
Yes.
Like this year, I'm doing Wanda from Fairly Odd Parents. Is that impressive? No. Does everybody know who that is? Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Hi guys. I sorry that I look very like washed out. I'm actually at a work convention. So I'm in my hotel room and I thought like in front of the window will be great. And then it just hasn't been great. So anyway, hi, Cool Gamer watching us from YouTube, and hi, LARP Like Ray watching us from Twitch. Thank you so much, guys. If you didn't know that we do stream live on 3 platforms, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I'm Jake's Cosplay. I've been cosplaying since 2001, based in Gilbert, Arizona. I'm currently in San Diego, but I'm not cosplaying. Just working. So forgive me if my connection's not great. I'm at the Hyatt. I am a host for Cos Talk Live, surprise. And we are going to be doing a lot of stuff for UwU. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about Halloween stuff. My thing for Halloween is that I like to wear my bot costumes. Yeah. Like I'll go to like the Halloween stores after Halloween. I'll buy everything on clearance and then I'll just wear it on Halloween. And I don't really care what happens to it.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm like not dressed up today either, but that's also because I just got off work. So I was like, work to other computer. But Halloween's hard when you're a cosplayer. It's kind of difficult that you still want to dress up and represent, but it's definitely difficult to put on costumes for the day. Usually what ends up happening for me, since it's like I sit outside either Jinx's house or my own house and I hand out candy. So then I'm typically dressed as Merida because it's really easy to wear her.
And the kids
and
know
kids
who she
like
is.
Merida, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're so lazy.
It's also
but let's just talk about some quick ideas. So
Okay,
say
yeah.
like you want to do something on Halloween and you don't have a lot to work with. What's a go-to item in your closet or in your stash that you like to put on? How about you, Choco?
I think my go-to one is any of my cartoon cosplays personally. They're usually just like a recognizable t-shirt or something. Like I do number 5 from Kids Next Door, or in my case, I dressed up as a baby shark for like 2 years in a row. It's just a shark onesie with a bib. Like it's just that. But that is like my go-to thing. It's comfy. That's basically it. Anything I have that is like bought and that I can easily put on, because no one wants to wear like they're really nicely, like, I mean, like maybe for some people, if Halloween's like the one time you get to wear your costumes, you want to wear something nice. But in my experience, Halloween parties are messy. And I really don't want like somebody's like tequila on my chiffon Princess UA cosplay.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. When in college, everybody knew that I was a cosplayer. So parties, people would be like, Can's gonna show up in something steezy. And then I would show up, like this. And they're like, where's your armor? And I'm like, do you think that I'm gonna put all that on just for you to spill something on me? Because that's not happening.
Yeah,
I also would like to drink. So I'm not a mannequin.
Yeah, it's really weird. People think that, like, I mean, for like, if I was gonna go specifically to some big Halloween ball with a contest, like, then I would take something that I made. But if I'm just going like to my friend's house and we're just like drinking all night, and I don't know what's gonna happen the next day or where I'm gonna end up, I'm not gonna. Okay, I don't party like that anymore, but I used to. I'm not gonna wear like the costume that took like 10 yards of fabric and like $300 and 300 hours to make. You know. Like, not gonna happen, because I think so myself and Mikaria Drake and Thermo Sidekick are all in this group choir, and someone was like passing out Halloween invitations, and she's like, oh, we're so intimidated by the cosplayers. I'm like, don't be, because I'll probably just show up in a paper bag. Like,
Yeah.
Come to a con if you want to see me in one of those outfits, but Halloween is where I take a break.
Yeah.
It's like it's our holiday now. Our time of rest.
Yeah.
And you know what's great? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just like reminded of the time that like I even at school I was known as like a cosplayer, but like one year I dressed up as a raisin. Like I put on a trash bag, a black trash bag with holes for my arms and legs, and I was like, ta-da! Here I am.
That's
Isn't
pretty
that
fucking funny.
Like,
oh, I'm sorry. I just swore. I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to swear. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Pretend like I
It's
didn't.
okay. It slips occasionally. It's okay.
Okay, I am so sorry.
You're fine.
yeah.
Like,
I thought it was
we're
serving. I
at
thought it
this
was
point, we're
serving.
more than 7 minutes in. We're okay. YouTube's not going to kick us out.
Okay,
Yeah, as long as
good.
Sam doesn't break out the beer, she's fine. We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, I won't. I promise. It's in the fridge, locked away. I only drink socially. I'm not gonna drink in my house. Just like 3 p.m. That's
Oh well, we did one on a stream one time and we got banned.
Oh no! I thought that idea was so cute.
Yeah, because we did this, like, Sam had her beer like in front of the camera and the label was facing, and then they turned us off. I'm like, what the heck? So we were like, Sam,
gosh, that's surprising.
more beer. So what's great about if you live in the US, there's a great store called, I'm sure everybody knows, it's called Spirit Halloween, and they opened way earlier this year. I think they opened in like oh my gosh, August. I'm pretty sure that there were some that were already open in August. And it's great for both cosplayers and drag people because they've come out with now like licensed costumes. So even as a cosplayer, you can go in there and buy, like My Hero Academia stuff, Disney
the
stuff.
whole anime section. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
What 12-year-old would have done, 12-year-old me would have done for all of that.
Right?
I could not, if I could have dressed up as like a Naruto character for Halloween when I was like 12, I think I would have lost my mind. Like,
yeah. So technically my first cosplay was I was in junior high, and they actually made these, they made patterns for Sailor Moon outfits. So I was 13 or 14, and my mom made me Sailor Jupiter, and that was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So you can see is that Gremlins? Oh, so cute. So it's great for both non-cosplayers and cosplayers, again, because if you've got a con coming up, you could just like, I think somebody in some group was like, I need a last minute costume, like go to Spirit. You'll find actually really good stuff there. It's no longer just this like polyester printed sack, like with the, all the outfit printed on it. It's like legit stuff. I bought, one year I bought an Ash costume from Overwatch because it was like on super clearance, and it was not this high end leather stuff, but it was pretty good for what it was. So
Yeah.
regular people that want to wear their favorite characters, that only do it once a year can wear their favorite characters, and cosplayers can also wear their favorite
I
characters.
remember feeling so blue ballsed by their Overwatch section because like I'm a Widowmaker Kenny. She's blue, right? Go to the Overwatch section because I know that they had like the Diva gun that was like really high quality. They had Ash's stuff that was really high quality. And I was like, they have to have Widowmaker, right?
No.
Not a
Nah.
single. I was like, okay, no love for the blue women, I guess. I'll just, I guess I just have to make it.
But props. Yeah, props is definitely Spirit Halloween. It's a good place for props normally. Like there are times even with like I'll be confused about how I should make something, and then I'll look at Spirit Halloween how they did it, and I'll be like, huh, that looks. Why didn't I think of that? Like
they're also not expensive either. That's what's crazy. I bought a knife from them the other day for my Ace costume from One Piece, and it was $8, and I didn't have to do anything to it. It just came perfect, and I was like, when did y'all step the game up like this? I'm confused.
Yeah, I'll go like after Halloween, and I've bought like a sword and some other stuff just as like a base for something else. I'm like, this is actually not bad. I've bought 2 of the Diva guns because obviously every skin Diva has a different gun. So I bought 2. I bought the headset, even though I made my own. Like sometimes I'll just buy stuff. I've bought the Fallout Nuka Cola gun and a Pip Boy. And a laser gun as well. So it's like, it's not bad for somebody who doesn't, I mean, I can make props, but sometimes you just want to buy it and just have it ready.
Sometimes you just don't have the time or the energy, or like sometimes characters, you'll be like, I would wear this. I don't really want to make it though. Like, I don't care that much about you, but I like you enough. So
I like you enough to pay after Halloween to get you to wear you next year.
Exactly. That's how I feel about it. Like, there are very few characters that I'm really like, oh, I need to make you with some like Yaya Han, like Spanish. I'm going to make custom. But like very rarely do I feel that way about someone. I'll be like, yeah, you're cool. Put you on my body.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple comments. Queen Zombie says, Magical Beans, I stole Chibi Rain Cloud from you, but guess what? We're going to have Chibi Rain Cloud next week at UwU. So that is UwU. So,
oh my gosh, that's gonna happen all con. I'm not ready. Like I really am not for those jokes.
Oh, I'm so ready. My body is ready.
I'm not ready. Like I come back early from my work convention because my husband's like, we have to go camping, and okay, so we're going camping, and then then UwU, and I'm just like, I am not ready.
Yeah.
A couple more. Nathan's watching us from YouTube. He says cool, and Raul says I like looking through everything at Spirit props and decor. Me too. I'll just look and see, oh, maybe I'll get that after Halloween, or just to see what they've licensed. And with Monster High coming back, oh my gosh, they have some really cool stuff. They have a Monster.
So cute.
Don't even. I'm a Frankie Stein Kenny. Okay.
Are you? I did Frankie Stein.
Because white hair streak.
She has a white hair streak, and now that her new gen is out, she actually has a blue hair streak.
I saw that. It's like split. It's like blue with a white streak and then white with a black streak. And I was like, dude, it's like they want me to.
Yeah.
And even I was at Spirit the other day with my roommate, and my roommate saw like the Frankie Stein section and was like, they got a Can Stellar section. And I was like, first of all, I was like, thank you for putting that together. My Kenny heart was like, but I was like, yes, it's so meek core. I love her. I'm obsessed with her. I haven't done her yet, which is crazy. I need to though. It's on my list, but my list is like 20 people long.
I know. So. I've started collecting stuff for more Monster High characters, and they're like, oh, we're coming back. I'm like, oh crap. Now all the other Monster High stuff is back out, and they just have some really cute stuff. So, but in addition to Spirit, which they're like, on every corner, they're like a new Starbucks during Halloween time. There's also secondhand stores like Goodwill. If you go to Goodwill, like I actually I found this really cute. It's like I don't even know what it is, like a steamboat showgirl costume, and they're usually like $100, and I found it for like $15, and I don't think it was used because there was still stuff in like original packaging. So if you go and you look, and I don't think anybody knew what it was because it was in this big plastic dress bag. It was all scrunched up at the bottom. And I'm like, this is something good. So I actually picked it up and it was $15 and it was a whole complete set, really cute. So definitely check out Goodwill for, some really good Halloween costumes that are only worn once, and just look for signs of, vomit or alcohol or blood.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely encourage people to go to like thrift stores and Goodwill stores, or even like sometimes like a certain vintage stores, they'll bring out like certain like old time Halloween costumes that have like different cuts that I think are like super cute and a little bit more mature, and like usually are made of like better materials. But I mean, like Goodwill, one time I found a 3-piece CL Phantom Hive costume there. So like, yeah, they just don't know. Or like, like they'll have, like this past time, like I think I saw like a whole Girl Scout uniform, but like a very like vintage one. So I always love Goodwill. I think that's like a good resource, even for like more simpler costumes that, like sometimes all you need is like black pants and like a dress shirt and like a tie or something. Could be like a lot of costumes. I really want my brother to wear Stanley Parable for Halloween, and we're just dressing him up in like an office uniform, and he's gonna have a bucket because that's what the game is. It has like a bucket, and that's like very distinguishable for the character. So stuff
Buckets
like that
give
is
me
like
war
super
flashbacks.
easy. I'm obsessed with that game. It's too much.
So a couple other things about Goodwill is that like I'll find, and as cosplayers and seamstresses, you can tell when something's been handmade and it looks good. I actually found this really cute Lolita maid outfit, and I was like looking for the tag. There was no tag. I'm like, this looks handmade, but looks made really well. And it actually was a zip up, and I was like, ooh, this zip up doesn't fit, but somebody went and added a lace up back. I still have it. I haven't worn it, but I was like, you'll find some really amazing stuff in there, especially handmade stuff that just gets passed over because people don't look at it close enough. And then you'll also find some really great, like, and this is like not related to Halloween, but they'll put a lot of vintage or retro stuff out on the Halloween racks. That, if you're a fashionista, then you're always looking for vintage stuff. I sometimes check to see if they have any 80s prom dresses or whatever. You'll find them on the seasonal racks at Goodwill too. So, yeah, Sam.
I'm pulling up like cosplays and stuff that you have. Like,
so I can talk about my most recent one. Can I talk about that one? My Freddy.
Do you have it posted on your website?
Yeah. So I can talk about it while you pull it up, but I got really inspired by an Instagram account. It's artpop_18, I think, and they do really, really cute. Like I think they're like a RuPaul's Drag Race fan, so they do a lot of really cute art. I actually found them through their Monster High art, and then they did this series of Halloween monsters, and the Freddy Krueger just looked so on point. I was like, dude, I could totally make that. And so what I actually did was I bought a sheet from Goodwill. I found a hat at Goodwill that I painted, and the boots I had already owned, but I also had bought from Goodwill like prior because I'm a hoarder. So I actually painted, I mixed my acrylic there. Yeah. I mixed my acrylic paint with the fabric medium. I painted the stripes on it, found some pattern online, just a regular shirt pattern, and just altered it. And that was my Freddy Krueger. Yeah. So the hat I painted, I was going to almost drop $10 on Amazon, and I found this one at Goodwill for like $2. I'm like, yeah, I might as well just save the extra $8. And then the hand glove I already owned. It's actually part of my Evelyn cosplay, my KDA Evelyn cosplay. But I mean, you could do anything. You could just take like plastic knives and glue them to a glove, and get that glove at Goodwill too. I just kind of like worked with this organically, just ripped it up, kind of cut it in different places. And then I made the stitches using the embroidery floss. And then those kind of made like the big hole stitches. And that's kind of it. Throw a pair of fishnets on, some knee-high boots, red lip. And then the makeup I was inspired by, it should be linked in there who I was inspired by the makeup. I think I made it too pretty because it didn't quite show up like the burn marks that Freddie has. It was just a little too pretty. So when I do this again next time, I'm going to make it look a little more intense. But that was quick. I made that in a couple days. Of course, the painting takes time because I had to wait for the layers to dry. But once that was all done, it was pretty quick. It's easy to
Now
make
that
that
you've
thing.
mentioned it, it's definitely serving RuPaul's Drag Race. I can see it.
Yeah.
The artist is so cool. Like they have this series of like there's Carrie, there's Samara from The Ring, Saw, the Jigsaw. Is it Jigsaw? So it was a lot of fun. And then I put my friend in my costume, like my creepy doll costume, and we had a little mini photo shoot at that famous tunnel.
I've never been to that tunnel. No one's invited me to the tunnel. I don't feel initiated.
Oh my God, I have to tell you that. The tunnel's like right by my house.
Tunnel in Arizona.
Yes, it's like it's like an elite tunnel. I don't even feel like a real Arizona cosplayer if I haven't shot.
I haven't shot there yet. Wait, where is
it?
It's really close to where
it's by
Jinx is.
Can somebody send me a pin
walk
drop
there if I liked walking?
Yeah, we can send you guys a pin drop.
Because I haven't shot anything in a tunnel yet, and I need to.
It's a very cool tunnel.
But I need to be christened as an Arizona cosplayer.
It's a bit. It's
I can schedule another Monster High because I want to do another one.
Oh, Monster High!
So we're talking about it, and this was literally I just got a leftover skirt from Goodwill, a white skirt, and then also they happen to have like a petticoat there that, I mean, trust me, the top part of it's not very pretty. It needs more fluffing. And then I just bought like a pink shirt, cut the sleeves off, and I already had the sparkly shirt and some tights. And the only thing I really had to do was invest in shoes. And someone was selling a pair, but they were like really old. And so I had to redo the straps and repaint everything. And then for the wig, I just bought a black wig and bought those pink little clip-ons and permanently sewed them in.
Mm-hmm.
I think the coolest thing about Monster High too is that, especially now, they have so many outfits that you could technically just like grab an outfit in that character's color scheme.
Yeah.
As long as it's fashionable, wear the wig and you have a costume.
Like with Frankie, it's like you just have to have blue plaid. That's like all you have to have, really. Blue plaid and like a button up with some sort of neck tie.
You know what I did with my Frankie? Because people are like, "How did you do it?" I cheated a little bit and I got an extra large kids costume.
Yes.
And I changed some of it out. I was like, I want this exact plaid. So I felt a little guilty that I was but I took it. I changed out like the white part up here was a really cheap, like snaggy fabric. So I actually ripped that out and I put in higher quality fabric. I remade the tie. I remade the belt. I added more tulle into the skirt. So I actually was really pleased with that. And I know that not everybody can do that because an extra large kid size is not easy, but you could still even just collect, like you could even just go to Goodwill's, find the kid sizes and just collect the fabric.
I'm going to share this. So Lena took the kid size and just wore a black bodysuit underneath, but she bought the kid size TIE fighter outfit and put all the accessories on top.
I love that.
Yeah, but you don't always need to. I mean, you could collect the fabric from the skirts. Because I was at one Goodwill and there were like 4 kid Frankie cosplays there, and I almost got it. I was like, but I don't need it. But it was like, what a great idea. If someone wanted to make Frankie and you want that exact fabric, you could just collect all those for like what, $5 each, just take them apart and then just reuse the plaid fabric.
Well, so like Lena's a really big like Goodwill person. So she's Thermo Sidekick, and a lot of her Morgiana is literally just a white dress, and then she just found a necklace that works and got a wig, and then same thing with Sadao Mao, just took some existing things and put on a piece of bias tape and took like, I think it was a bed sheet or something, and threw together a cape.
Yeah, that's so exactly what happened with like my Knuckles cosplay.
Yeah.
I just went to Goodwill and went crazy.
Yeah, I mean, even her son was literally a white shirt turned inside out that she clipped in the back, put over a blue dress. We took a rug from IKEA a long time ago before it was popular, and threw it on her head. And the only thing that we had that she had to make were the earrings, the knife, and then I made the mask for her. but everything
Yeah.
else was just Goodwill and a rug. So,
I just
like,
I just shared a link in the private chat of
Okay.
so I think I've explained this to you too privately before, but not like I don't think I said it publicly. But before I moved to Arizona, I had a completely different social media account that I used. And then when I moved, I was like, what if I just restarted? Wouldn't that be funny? And my whole entire old account is literally just like accessible American media. Like that was my entire shtick.
I
It was like
love joke
SpongeBob,
cosplays like
Cartoon
this.
Network. Yeah, that was all I did. That was all I used to do. And so I have like a ton of them on this account that are just like they could just be Halloween costumes because everybody would know what they are. And like this costume was literally like Goodwill.
And if you get more than one person to do it with you, you get more recognized. Like it becomes like a whole bit. I love it.
Body would know what they are. And like this costume was
Ooh, got comments.
I think
really like
also for the dollar store is also like a good resource, only because I remember one Halloween, it was like I think it was like Dollar Tree or Family Dollar. Either way, there was like a release line of Ninja Turtle stuff that went absolutely huge. Like everyone, because it was the year that Bowsette got really popular during Halloween, and those shells were absolutely perfect. They sold out because all of us adults wanted to do Bowsette. There was nothing left for the kids.
I remember. I totally remember.
I also remember
another thing about the dollar store. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I remember also when Spirit Halloween had an issue with selling out of all of their astronaut helmets because Among Us blew up like a week before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And then no one could find astronaut helmets. They were like getting scalped on eBay. That was nuts.
It was so nuts. I ended up using a motorcycle helmet. Like, I was, yeah.
Yeah, like you can, and I know there's some things that are kind of sketched to buy at Goodwill, but if you sanitize things properly, because there's always tons of helmets, because you can only use helmets once, right? Because once it's been in an accident, you're not supposed to use it. I don't know if anybody knows that, but once the helmet's been jostled around on the, with your brain inside, it's no longer good. So that's why you see a lot of helmets at Goodwill. And I know they're probably one of the sketchiest things to buy, but you could always, disinfect them, wipe them down, use, the alcohol method. And they're so cheap. It's like, there's no point in buying like a $50 or $60 helmet if you're just going to use it for a costume.
Oh
we
my
got
gosh,
a couple
yeah,
more
here's my video.
Yay!
Of me making this Among Us costume very last minute. That's like, it was like I found like a cardboard box. I made like a whole backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Like shot at 50-pound lake. I think this costed me a total of like $20. It was like absolutely ridiculous.
That's so good.
Yeah, it was super fun.
So a couple more comments. We have Matthew says, a non-Sunday show? We're just so busy. Forgive us. We will reshare it on Sunday in case anyone misses it. Popia103 on Twitch says, hiya. Joe Cluck on YouTube says, hi, ladies. Almost all my cosplays are thrift store. I love that because even if you don't find your cosplay or costume at a thrift store or dollar store, you'll find pieces. Again, because I used a bed sheet because I was looking for something that was stretchy kind of jersey knit, and I was lucky to find this red jersey knit fabric or sheet that I made my Freddy costume out of. Sheets, curtains, sometimes pillows, pillowcases, even if you go to like the craft sections, or even sometimes they'll have like scraps of fabric at Goodwill. I've found some like black velvet there that I used for like a backdrop, or pieces like baskets or plastic containers, cosplay shoes I always get at Goodwill. I love to find, whenever I find those work clogs, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but like a lot of nurses wear them.
Yeah. And like chefs.
Yeah, because they've got like a great shape, so they're great for boots, like a base of a boot, and they're comfortable. So I have a pair of those that I use for a pair of boots that I made, but those are really, really good boot bases. So I'm always on the lookout for things that I could possibly use. Sometimes I'll go for like handbags or purses if I see something that might match a character. I bought like a straw one for when I would do Moana. Sometimes those are fun too because I like to have like a bag that matches. So
I always, when it comes to shoes, if I'm going to be crafting a pair of shoes, I always go to the Fashion Nova clearance section because I have gotten so many like sock boots from them for like $8 to $10,
and
brand
those sound
new.
like good bases, huh?
Yeah, the great bases because you can just glue things straight because they're like the sock boots, so they just like absorb adhesive really well. And I love to wear just like a ridiculous pair of shoes with my costumes. Like for my Waluigi, I was wearing these like platform neon orange sneakers. Just like
Are you okay?
I love it to be like kind of accessible, and then like the shoe is just like freaking ridiculous.
They're fun,
Yeah.
and shoes are sometimes the hardest part to get for your costume.
Shoes are so fun. Like, and I feel like
Yeah.
there at times like the shoes can like elevate the costume like so much. It's like a very unexpected like piece of like wow. Like because like recently I was able to like match the Jolene lines of my Jolene bodysuit. My boots matched. And when that happened, I was like, no one can touch me now.
Yeah.
Like, move out of my way. Like,
That's
excuse
creamy.
me. Have you seen my boots? Like, gotta keep walking. It is so, it's like
Literally $7.98 for a
Fine.
brand new pair of shoes that
Yeah,
you could just
that's-
like
yeah, that's
glue some
really
stuff
good.
too.
And that's basically the price of a Goodwill shoe. So
Yeah.
you
And
might
you don't
as
have to
well.
leave your house.
Is that Fashion Nova?
Yes.
Oh, cool, nice.
I've noticed their clearance is always the cheapest. Sometimes I'll also do Shop Akira. Because they have like those nice like what is Azalea Wang? She makes really crazy shoes that are always like 100 to 120, and then the clearance for those end up being like 30. So I'll be like, a quarter of it, yes, give to me, because I'll also
The
wear
one
them in real
thing-
life.
Yeah, I want to definitely advocate against making your own shoe. Like, do not make a shoe from scratch unless you know how. I've seen
Like,
this. I've seen this
like,
in groups.
Unless you're competing, like what?
I don't even know if you're
still,
competing.
most judges will understand because cobbling is kind of an inaccessible skill to learn.
It's yeah.
It makes more sense that you get a base and then you build on that base because, like Canty said, cobbling is really difficult if you don't do it right, and you
can hurt yourself.
Potentially put nails and stuff. You could put through your own foot if you don't do it correctly, and you are walking on stage and it breaks on you. You could hurt yourself worse. So like, just get a base shoe and build on top of it.
Yeah, I can't. It's also like the weirdest. It is the weirdest thing because like even if you make your shoe and you cobble your shoe right, it can shrink randomly, and then not fit you. It's just also like it's like one of those skills where it's so expensive to start, and for what? Like
yeah, there's no point to like, because then you got to make all these molds. So you got to make a a mold for like one shoe, and then you have to make sure that they don't break on you, or the sole is going to protect your feet. Like if you step on I just don't do it, guys. You'll find the base shoe at Goodwill. You can spray the heck out of it to sanitize it, and then good.
The most like baseline start thing I think someone could do if they really wanted to make a shoe is get like flip-flops and then like rip the thong part off, and then you'd have a sole to build off of. But I think that is the farthest, like the earliest step you can get to before you get to the dangers of cobbling.
That is like a really good skill to learn, especially if you guys are like wearing Spider-Man suits this Halloween. I definitely recommend in this because our Arizona sidewalks and Arizona asphalt, it absorbs heat. Like even at nighttime, you're gonna go out, it's gonna burn the sole of your foot. Like,
please. I do have to say that one of my pet peeves, because I'm always big on safety, is people that walk around barefoot, and especially those Zentai suits that don't have proper soles. You can. I actually saw these are quite expensive, but there are these like steel toe like things you put under a shoe at some work like website. I'm like, that's interesting. But like Ken said, like I've actually made gladiator sandals, and I started with the flip-flop bottom, and then I built on top of it. And some people's like, make me a pair. And I was like, no, I barely want to wear these. Like,
yeah. Also,
But-
making a shoe from scratch is uncomfortable. And like that's kind of, especially if you're gonna be wearing it all day, like at a convention or Halloween party or whatever. Your feet are the foundation for your body. You really need to be taking good care of them. If you're going to be walking around for 12 hours, like obviously I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite because I will show up to events in pleasers, which are like the 10-inch stiletto platform boots. But I've done it enough times that I know how to train my body to it and be comfortable wearing them. But if you're like starting out and you're like, I'm going to make a pair of shoes and wear them for 12 hours straight, just buy a base.
Or like even wearing heels for like 12 hours straight. So, you know, I always see like people who are like cosplaying in heels for the first time, and it's really noticeable that they're doing it for the first time.
Because they walk like baby deer.
They're walking like baby deers in pain, and I'm like, did you bring an extra pair of shoes? Like,
yeah, always bring like those roll-up slippers or a pair of tennis shoes in a bag, because like I have really high arches. I cannot wear heels for very long unless they're really chunky and there's a better slope, but I have very high arches and it makes it much harder for me to run around in them. And so even though I've been wearing heels for years, I still, after about 8 hours, start to go, okay, either I need to put some inserts in these, and I usually already have inserts, but I need to add more, or I need to take painkillers, or I need to just get the F out of these shoes. Usually it's just get the F out of these shoes.
Yeah. And I've seen people like try to do that thing where they rest their feet and then they put their shoes back on, but like,
oh god,
it's not,
it's like you make the blisters worse.
Because like I'm gonna tell you, as a ballet dancer, let me tell you, your feet swell. So if they're outside of the confines of
you
your
try
shoe,
to put them back in,
and they will not fit back into your shoe, and it will hurt worse. No.
Like I'm at this like work convention, and I kicked off my shoes. Where are they? I kicked off my shoes and I can't stand them, and they're just regular black pumps. I kicked them off. They're so painful. So luckily I bought a pair of flats too. But yeah, even when I cosplay, I have those foldable ones too, which actually came handy because when we did the Lantern Moon Festival, our friend Makaria, her shoe broke, and it wasn't even that far of a walk to the car, but it was outside in the park, and I was like, oh my god, you need to put something on. And even though my flats didn't quite fit, I'm like, at least they're going to cover your feet until we get to the car. So even in that instance, like you need to protect yourself, because even in the dark, it was nighttime in the park. It's like, who knows where you're going to
there's glass, shards of glass in places and rusty nails and stuff, and you like, it's never worth cutting your foot over something.
Yeah, so that's a big thing for Halloween. Don't go barefoot. Like if you want that barefoot look, get clear, like they have clear jelly shoes and clear flip-flops and stuff. Get those, because even the stick-on shoes, they're not thick enough. Like the actual ones that stick to your feet that have little toes and stuff, they're not thick enough to protect you from anything. They're mostly meant to keep a barrier from touching the ground and keeping like maybe some gravel, or if there's anything
like
that's
dirt on the like a public flooring.
Yeah. But if you're walking around on a sidewalk or in the pavement in those, it will rip right off after about 10-15 minutes. And especially in the area we live in, the pavement's still hot enough in October for them to melt off.
Yeah.
I like to be creative with it, like, because they make all these different kinds. So when I did Ariel, we did a little Ariel group to meet Jodie Benson, and I was like, I'm going to do the sail dress. I'll do a really cute stylized, when she puts that sail on as a dress. And then I just had the pair of Ellie's shoes, like the clear dancer shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it looks like she's kind of like tippy-toeing, and I'll just wear that. Like, be creative with it. Like, accuracy is great and all, but also like you're on your feet. Like, you won't know what you miss until you don't have it.
Yeah, and there's like they have like invisible shoes. Like they've got like they literally call them like the invisible shoes,
and they're so fun to like do different things with. Yeah. So a couple
like something here. Like this too. Like if you really need to look barefoot, you can do something like this.
Yeah, like that's perfectly acceptable. Also, anyone who's being a stickler and is like, oh, well, so many is barefoot. Who cares what they think? Your safety is way more important than what some random on the internet thinks.
Yeah, and if Doja Cat can like wear those shoes with her Kita for Halloween last year, then you can too.
Well, but it's
Yeah.
like
Oh.
also like Tarzan lives in the jungle and he's been raised without shoes, so he's fine. Like you're in like
Yeah,
the
he's got
concrete jungle.
calluses.
Yeah, he's had calluses that he's been building for like 20 years. He's fine.
He's probably
Matthew-
impervious to tetanus at this point.
Right.
But I'm not. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Matthew says,
Exactly.
I've learned to look in both men's and women's sections for costume pieces. Good point, especially for more closet cosplays and such. Most of my nice boots are the female section. I will say that like sometimes belts, I'll find men's belts are much more like nicer, thicker to use than women. Women's belts are like so dumb and flimsy. I'm like, what is this? It's like
they
a rope.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, they're usually made of pleather too. So
Ooh,
or
or
like
purse
cheap leather
straps.
that like they like crack over time.
Mm-hmm. Or I use purse straps, like sometimes the thick purse straps. I actually have a
Yes.
belt that I made out of a purse strap. Matthew says, Sam helped me with my soles. It was funny and smelled like death. Yes, feet do that. And who's excited for our temp drop next weekend at UwU? I am super excited. Even like Sam and I had the pleasure to walk the venue and that courtyard where all the food trucks are. Even when we walked it like a month
There's
ago,
food trucks.
it was nice, cool, and breezy. And so I was actually
it's a
excited
nice
for that.
place. I also got to walk it, and I was like, "This is so."
Yeah.
First of all, so much different than any other convention that I've been to in
Mhm.
Arizona. The setup is so different, and the fact that the food alley is accessible without a badge, I think, is like super important and
Yeah,
good
too.
because like you
Well,
don't.
because a lot of people like to meet up for like maybe their friends have a pass and they can't necessarily get a pass for like the same days they can, but they like to meet up in costume, take photos
Yeah,
together,
like
and eat lunch.
outside,
Yes.
There's like cosplay meetups outside. Some people are just there for the cosplay meetup and they want to go home.
Yeah.
Like,
And that happens a lot with bigger events like Anime Expo and San Diego Comic-Con.
Mhm.
Like you can hang around the Gaslamp district. And because last time I went to Comic-Con, there was a signing, a Walking Dead signing, not even on the con. Like it was like next to the Starbucks. So it's nice if they accommodate that, then people might
Well,
even be like, maybe.
And the
I
thing
will
is, they're
attend
essentially
here.
still they're making their vendors more money because all
Yeah.
the food vendors are in a
Mhm.
publicly accessible place. Those food vendors are now going to make more money, and there'll get to be more meetups. So I think it's kind of an Arizona downfall that more of our cons don't do this, because I have
I
traveled
agree.
and more cons do have that, and it is pretty common. And this is really one of the few places where it isn't. So I'm kind of happy to see them bring in like different traditions from different states that I've attended
You know, it's
conventions at.
actually like SakuraCon.
I've not been. I was
I've
supposed
not.
to go
Like
this past
and there
year,
were
but then
tons of
something
like
came
meetups
up.
and shoots. Oh yeah, I remember because I
SakuraCon,
messaged you, but
there's
it
a
was a
public
little.
park attached to the back of it, and all of the photographers for the convention go in that park. So even if you're not a part of the convention, you can go into that public park, get your photos, and go.
I think it's also good because it's
It's
like
beautiful.
if somebody had just decided like to visit a friend that was attending and they just wanted to stop for lunch, that could bring them into buying a badge. They could be like,
Yeah.
well, I'm already here and I'm having a great time. I don't really want to leave. I want to spend more time with you, and you're about to go in and do like a panel or whatever. Like I might as well.
Yeah, it's
Join
good
you.
advertising too.
People
It's
who
great
are, like,
advertising.
you know, because some people are really into like food. So like, especially like they'll go like, oh, I'm here for the food trucks because there's so many food trucks here. Oh, I'll buy a badge. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A couple
Yep.
more comments before we keep going. So Popia says, Crocs are my go-to. I don't know. I can't get into the Crocs. I know that they're coming back into like, the whole thing.
what? You can't get into these?
And then
I'm
Anthony
in the
says,
same
hello,
boat.
everyone. Yeah,
I think
Anthony
it's
says, I
brilliant.
didn't expect the stream on Thursday. Yes, we surprised everyone. Don't worry, we will replay this on Sunday. Who are you all dressing up as? So we'll share our lineups here in a sec. I miss seeing you in costume, Jinx. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at getting in costume on these streams. And he also says, I love the lights in the background, Thermo. Ooh. I was at Thermo's house the other day and she showed me her new setup. So, okay, I want to talk a little bit about UwU, if that's cool, because one of the unique things about UwU is that they want to focus on like the food culture as well. So that's
Yes.
why it's nice that they have this access to the food vendors, because that they're really like curating, you know, the food experience. And that's something that's definitely different. Weeble Cake says, hey, yo, from YouTube. So let's go around
Well,
each
that's
of us
cool
and
because,
kind of
like,
talk
they're
about
catering
what
to
you're gonna-
like both the like culture of food, but also I know that they're having some like horror theme because it is technically Halloween weekend, so they're kind of like merging both.
Yeah.
I
So
also-
let's go
it's-
around
I-
and everyone. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I feel like a lot of places overlook the food culture part because especially when you're new and you're planning out your convention and you're just like thinking about the costumes you're gonna wear and what panels you go to, you never think about where you are going to eat or what you are going to eat. Yeah, until it's too late. How far the food is, because how many times have any of us been at a convention and then realized that we were so hungry that we were getting pissed off and the nearest restaurant that you couldn't even like Uber or shuttle to.
Yeah, because you can't
you're
go to
in
the
like a
cafeteria
dead
because
zone.
it's too busy. Cafeteria is like 2 hours to get food. Yeah.
Yeah, a cafeteria.
Or it's like an Arby's, like 3 miles away.
Yeah, like or like you go to
or Game On
to these conventions, right? They're in a hotel or at a resort, and it's in an isolated area.
Yes.
So if you don't have resort food money,
because that's expensive.
Bro,
I don't have $11 for chicken tenders.
But it's in the middle of nowhere.
Well, it's like Game On Expo. You have to. There's only one place to eat in the South Hall, and it's expensive, and they have a small menu. And so I think I ate chili fries like all 3 days. And
that's the one thing at Game On. I love Game On Expo, but while I was at Game On Expo, I did not eat all day long.
Can I share a TMI story?
Coffee too. I have coffee horror story. Okay, we can go around now.
Okay, I have a TMI. I have a kind of disgusting TMI story about because food issues at conventions related. Colossal Con, I think 2016. I'm not at the Kalahari. I'm at a different one. And the only food in between my hotel and the Kalahari was McDonald's. And also, I was broke at the time. So for every single meal, I had a sausage McGriddle. Every single meal. So 3 times a day for 4 days straight. I went home.
I can't hear you, can't see.
It turned into dolphining.
Turned into a dolphin. You're telling a story and I couldn't hear it.
I thought you were doing some secret story.
Suspenseful part. I'm like,
I know. I was like, is this some sort of inside joke? I don't know. What is the story?
I was like, is it so quiet that we must whisper it?
Or is it so censored that we can't say it?
I know, right?
Well,
like, oh
now you're muted, so unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
The cord connected to my microphone, if I like touch it or move it, sometimes it'll just like disconnect and it'll make dolphin sounds.
It's
what was here?
You were dolphining. You had a McGriddle every day, and then
every meal. So three times a day for 4 days straight.
Oh my god, 3 times a day. Ooh.
Every meal. And I got home and my bathroom experience post that was atrocious. Bad. So the fact that the food is literally on site and it's not McGriddles, it's not like yoga mats with drops of honey, it's like real food. What more could you ask for? Anyway, sorry about the dolphining.
I was like, this is such a censored story that we can't even hear it.
Yeah.
And it's nice that
I did censor it.
And it's curated.
I could have went into way more detail.
Yeah, that's probably good. You were probably like, oh, I should probably shorten this story. But let's go around and talk about, if you guys want to talk about your lineups. Choco, let's start with you. What are you going to wear?
Why would you start with me?
Is your lineup not ready?
I'm going to be honest. I'm that person that wakes up 3 days before and is like, I finally have a lineup, guys. Thank you so much. I'll change it like the night before, or I'll bring 7 costumes and then randomly pick one and be like, surprise.
Okay, so what are you thinking of?
I know I'm going to wear Anthe because it's finally weather enough that I can wear her without dying. So that's nice.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll go well. And then I really want one new costume to have. So hopefully it works out. I want that one to be a surprise though, because it's a weird sub Genshin one that's not any of the main characters, but I love them so much.
Okay.
And then for last couple ones, I want to wear. I'll probably wear some rendition of Jolene, either to the rave or on a day where I need to be like casual-ish. I'm really hoping we have a load-in day because
We do.
yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
God bless. Yeah, and then I'll pick like some random ones. I was thinking of making like a character spooky. I don't know, like make like a Halloween-ified version of a character. Yes, there
Ooh.
she is.
Yeah,
I
that'll
have
be fun
like
on Sunday.
Sorry.
I do. I really want to wear her. I love her. I have so much fun in Jolene. I also have like this really nice like flash fabric that I want to make a costume for her because it's like black with no light flash, and then when you put your camera flash on it, it turns white. So
yeah,
very JoJo. So
Yes.
hopefully I get something like that done. It might just be like a little outfit, but it's cool. I suck at lineups. It's so much. I'm like
I
preparing.
get pretty bad at them too.
I feel like I have to prepare so much for my table because it's like the first time I've done like a 3-day anime convention, which is like a really, really big deal to me. It's like super big deal. I do not see very many Black people get to guest at like anime conventions that often. So I just like, I'm like super nervous.
Well, and I'm excited because we
You'll
got
be
to
fine.
see Ariel. We also have
got picked for a
the
reason,
official
you
December
know?
rain coming. So there's like, yeah.
So what about you,
Representation.
Ken? What's your lineup?
It might change, but I'm hoping it's pretty concrete. On Friday, I will be Makima from Chainsaw Man, and then I'm going to be dancing at the rave in a rave version of Makima. And then Saturday, I will be Zoro from One Piece, but a lady version. I love Zoro. He's my husbando. He's everything to me. I love I'm not going to be bald, Papia. You have got to stop spamming the bald emoji right now. But no, Zoro. And then Sunday, I think I'm going to be Samus because it's like, the suit is just comfortable and it's a Sunday. Usually it's against my religion to dress up on Sundays. Like every other convention I go to, I'm just on Sunday. But since I'm working and we're doing the Q&A thing on Sunday, I was like, I should wear something that if someone doesn't know who I am, they'll be like, hey, insert character. So I was like, Samus has a blue suit on. That sounds comfy and nice. I can do that. So I'm thinking that's about what my lineup is going to be.
Nice. Anthony has a couple comments. Hopefully the Bowsette costume, Jinx. I think Bowsette's on hold for a while. I've worn her a lot. And I'm ready to do some other stuff. And then he also says, love the Ariel tank top Choco and love the FEMA Luigi costume can. So Popia says, working on a Sunday, blasphemy.
I know,
so
blasphemy.
My lineup actually was dictated by Chibi Raincloud. Because I was like, whoa, I don't know what to do. And so I'm going to be Fantasy Ochako from My Hero because we're doing that fantasy group. And then I'm going to do Pure Test from Lotus War because she's going to be, Deedlit. And then Sam lent me her Pure Test, and then Sam's going to be, I guess Sam can talk about, I don't know, I don't want to give away her lineup. And then Sunday, I'm going to do my Misa from Death Note, because that's spooky, and I just love Misa. She's just the coolest, craziest, weirdest character, and I love it. So that is my lineup. And there's Ochako there. And then Sam, did you want to go?
So yeah, I mean, same thing on Friday. I'm going to be Fantasy Todoroki because there I am there.
There we are.
So yeah, I'm going to do Todoroki. And then I guess I could go back to my home and I could show what you're going to wear, Jess, because technically it's the outfit I wore, but Jess is going to have to change it because I'm a lot taller. So,
I'm going to alter it to fit me. So
I'm going to be Parn from Record of Lotus War. This is what Jess is going to be wearing.
Oh, cool.
I'll be Parn. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be Melius from Twisted Wonderland. So
that's perfect, actually.
I'm doing all 3 days as boys.
You love to see it.
Yeah, because I kind of wanted, because Chibi was so excited. I'm like, Chibi, I'll cosplay with you, and then so I kind of just decided what I was gonna cosplay based on what they decided. So
Yeah,
except
I always
Crystal Wonderland.
changed my thing when I hear my friends' cosplay plans because I love cosplaying with other people. It makes it so much more fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Also, the absolute mad part of my brain wants to finish a Cookie Run costume only because 2 of the voice actors are going, and I never see Cookie Run voice actors going anywhere.
Yep.
So we actually are going to have a changing space, and so Cosplay Live has a huge booth, a lounge and a booth. So if you did want to come like in a different costume, Choco, and change, like you're absolutely welcome to, come and invade our space.
Yeah, I figured we'll share the. Oh, we also wanted to mention, because there was some confusion from people about the difference in UwU Con between featured cosplayers that you're going to see and official cosplayers. So featured cosplayers are cosplayers that actually receive a booth and passes from the convention, and they'll be able to sell product, and they'll have their own space dedicated to them all weekend. Official cosplayers are what we call roamers. So they are also going to get a pass, but they're going to be, their job is to interact with the crowd and get everybody hyped up about being at UwU Con. So it's kind of like playing scavenger hunt. Where's the official cosplayer? And you
Wouldn't
get to
that be a fun game that we could do?
We should do that. We should have them
video.
come to Costalk Live and be like, check off this box and we can give them something.
And they have to do a selfie with the cosplayer. Oh my god! Okay,
It's
That's a bad idea, actually.
You could like coordinate it with like a trick or treat thing. Like you could like, oh, you found me. Here's a piece of candy. Like,
or they
I
can.
think
Well,
that'd
they can.
be really cute.
Or so you guys don't need to carry candy. We can have something at the booth once they have everybody checked off. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
Ooh, that's fun. So a couple more things about the cosplay guidelines is that I want to make sure that everyone just knows this because the venue is requesting this from us. What's that?
Did I catch all that? Was that me?
Oh.
The Hyatt pooped on you a little bit there.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I think what Jess is trying to say, the big thing, there's going to be a code of conduct that we'll be sending out to people. There's already code of conduct on the website, so please make sure you read it. We have it for cosplayers and for vendors and for attendees. But the venue has decided to put down a very unusual rule, kind of last minute, that we have no control over. Stilettos are not allowed. Anything that is stiletto-like, anything that could point into the ground is not allowed because...
Yeah. The flooring. Yeah. It's athletic flooring.
Yeah.
It's super expensive to fix.
The purpose of it is not like because stilettos are too sexy or anything. It's just basically they want to protect the flooring. So if
sports complex, like I understand.
Since we don't want people to be like, okay, well, how do I have to change? So what we're doing this weekend, I'm buying shoe covers, like stiletto shoe covers from Amazon. So if people do show up in pointy shoes, instead of security turning them away, we just put these on.
So I would say these are probably no, which is difficult because these are like a standard high heel. Like I wear these for work, so it's going to be really weird. We understand, guys. It's weird. Just do your best. And if you come in with these kind of shoes, we'll, like Sam said, she'll have the things that it's like a little inch diameter thing that covers the tip.
But block heels are allowed. Yeah. Block heels are allowed. So if your shoe is
like wedges,
or if it's just like a thicker base, totally fine. So if you haven't bought your shoes yet, buy a block heel.
So, I think I'll be fine. It'll be good. It's just, oh man, those are like my favorite.
I know, right? This is like my this is not my everyday because he's hurt, but these are like everyday shoes, right? So if they're like these, guys, either get your own little flatty things or wear some other shoes.
But it'll be, I think it also, because the floors, no one wants weird scratch marks on their basketball court or anything like that.
And it's a new thing because this is a new venue and this is their first comic anime.
Now I have to say this isn't the only venue that I've attended where they've made people put covers or change shoes. I've been to another venue where they made them change shoes or they supplied the little covers, which is why I knew about those covers. It was oh.
But those are usually for wedding. They market them for weddings, outdoor weddings. So if you're wearing heels in the grass. Mm-hmm. So Joe Cluck says, so cool. How do you get to be an official cosplayer? We have closed invitations for...
We have 2 more being announced, and then it's been closed. UwU Con brought us in a couple weeks ago. We were able to work with some really cool people, and they had already had some contracts before we were brought on. But next year, we're hoping to work more closely and get to interact with the community more. And as long as UwU is, like, barring any issues, we'll be able to run guests and panels next year. We'll see what happens.
And Popia says, sorry, Popia says Crocs. Crocs work everywhere for everything. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion.
I'm not gonna have Crocs on. I'm gonna have block heels on the whole weekend.
Yeah. Choco, you were saying?
I'm like really excited for UwU Con. I think it's giving the energy that we've kind of like accumulated like throughout the past year with like these pop-up events, but finally we're having an energy of like a really fun pop-up event, but like for 3 days. I think that's so awesome because
in a brand new venue.
Yeah, and it's bringing in a bunch of like people like who do food that like anime and like other artists that like anime, and like they're going above and beyond. There's like a DJ, I popped into one of their lives, and apparently there's like a 6-foot slime mascot you can take pictures with.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
there. They're also one of their sponsors is also making these like clear slime bags as swag.
They're super cute.
Oh, cute!
They're like buy bags.
They're
so cool.
I'm so excited I'm snagging one. I don't even care that it's pink. I know that I'm not pink. I'm getting one anyway. I don't care.
I'm so pink.
So one thing I want to cover before we need to start wrapping up is if you haven't and you're going to UwU Con and you want to compete, please make sure you sign up for the cosplay contest. The prizes have been uploaded so you can see what you can win. Cash is involved. And we've actually got Cantasy as one of the stage judges, and then it will be myself and Chibi doing pre-judging. We didn't want to take too many people away from their booths because we understand that it's like pre-judging can take hours. And since it's at the Costalk Live booth and Chibi and I are Costalk Live, we don't have to steal anyone from their booth. So we will still Cantasy for the hour for stage, but we'll take care of pre-judging just to make sure that vendors can stay at their booths the way that they should be able to present to the public.
Yeah, so let's
but
go
it
around.
is pretty awesome. The prizes are pretty cool.
Yeah, and then let's go around, guys, as we wrap it up, where everyone can find you. Choco?
You can find me on Instagram as Cosplay Choco. I think that I'm also there. TikTok is the same. I think it's like Cosplay Choco, and then I'm also on Twitter. So yeah, you can also see me at UwU Con. I am featured, so come by my table. It'll be fun.
All right, and Can?
All of my socials are sci-fi Cantasy, sci-fi like science fiction, and then Cantasy with a K. And then I will also be boothing at UwU, and I will be dancing, and I will be at the cosplay Q&A. So
Sam?
So you can find me at thermocosplay.com. Everything's there. Just go there. It's all linked there. And you can find me also at costalk-live.com. And I will be part of the Costalk Live booth at UwU Con. I will be a panelist and a judge and just running around helping however I can for CTL.
Yeah, and I have a website, jinxcosplay.com. You can find me on the socials at the Jinx Cosplay. I'll be at the CTL booth, and I'll be hosting the cosplay contest. And guys, I threw in some links in the chat. UwUCon.com is where you can find more information about UwU Con, and of course, you can also join our Discord. If you're watching this, tell your friends. We're going to replay it on Sunday live because we'll all be pretty busy preparing for UwU, and you can
hopefully some of those beginner tips that we gave in the first 40 minutes give you some ideas to either go to the convention or for Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, and there will be a Halloween contest on Sunday, so we're gonna
Halloween contest. So if you are going to UwU on Saturday and Sunday, and say it's Saturday you didn't make your full costume and you can't participate in the contest, that's okay. Halloween contest is open to all ages, all levels, everybody. You don't have to nothing could be made. You could buy everything that you're wearing and you can compete. So Sunday it's completely open.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this impromptu Thursday live stream. We will see you at UwU Con on Friday, October 28th through Sunday, October 30th. Yay!
Yep.
All right, guys.
Have a good
Thank you for our guests,
Thursday.
Coco and Cantasy, and we will see you all later. Bye.
Yes.